Hey there retro fans, welcome back to RGF Retro Game Force, and in today's episode we are looking into Fenrir, which is one of the options out there that we have to play games on your Sega Saturn from an SD card. So this video will be kind of a tutorial how to install, and on top a review where I play some games and I tell you how to install and how easy it is to install Fenrir. So guys, stay tuned! So first things first, what we will get when you buy Fenrir, what is in the package? You got a nice box with everything inside, with the PCB itself of Fenrir, the product itself. Then you will get the ribbon cable, because if your Sega Saturn ribbon cable is not in a good shape, you can use a brand new one. And then you have a stand, a plastic stand, to make sure that the Fenrir PCB stands there on the Saturn without, touching the components of the console itself. In the end, this package ensures that you have all the hardware needed to do this installation. What you need to bring is, of course, an SD card. And just before I start the installation tutorial, I have to add that Fenrir is only compatible with 4-pin connectors from the CD-ROM. So if you have a Sega Saturn Model 2, this will not work, Fenrir will not work with it. So take care that you have a Sega Saturn Model 1, and even the Model 1, some specific ones have 5-pin connectors, so you need to double check, you need to open your Saturn and make sure that you have a 4-pin connector on your attached to your CD-ROM to ensure that Fenrir is working. I know that Fenrir is coming in May 2021 with a new model of Fenrir that will support the Sega Saturn Model 2. But until now, only some specific models of Sega Saturn are compatible with Fenrir. Double check this before you start ordering it. And now we need to remove all the cables that are attached to the CD-ROM of the Saturn. Now let's bring the Fenrir to the console and attach the ribbon cable and the power cable. In terms of position, it's very easy to notice what is the right position to install Fenrir because of the CD placeholders for the CD-ROM that will fit the holes on the Fenrir, and also looking at the position of the cables. I would advise you to put some electrical tape on top of the ribbon cable to ensure that the Fenrir doesn't move so much. work is done, let's close the Sega Saturn. And now let's focus in how to set up your SD card in order to be used on the Fenrir. You need to go to the Fenrir official website, and from there you can download the firmware, and be aware that your SD card needs to be formatted in exFAT or FAT32 in order to be recognized by Fenrir. In the end, you should get these 3 files on the root of your SD card, and each game will have their own folder. So installation and setup is done, so let's start testing some games, and for that I'm using the Gaming Fun 80 high quality cables for the Saturn, and yeah, let's play some games. And because I'm showcasing some Japanese exclusive games that made use of the extra RAM expansion, I'll be using the Action Replay for this demo. And after all this, let's see if it boots and if it works. And it does work, so let me go now to the capture card and give you some demos of some games running here on Fenrir, and in the end I will give you my thoughts about Fenrir and showcasing also the UI and settings that Fenrir offers.
Guys, triumph or die! Hadouken!
So briefly, let's look into the UI, which is a bit important because it needs to be usable. In terms of UI, I will say it's very minimal, but it's also, on the other hand, it's very usable. So it's very simple to use, and it reacts pretty fast, so you can navigate into the list of games pretty fast. And in terms of settings, you have the refresh SD card content, and this is important because every time that you add a game into your SD card, you need to refresh the content in order to the game to appear on the UI so you can play the game. Then you can enable and disable the go back to menu. You can press A, B and C and start, and it brings you back to the menu. But for me, actually, it brings me back to the Sega Saturn CD menu and not to the Fenrir menu. So it's a bit weird, but maybe something to be fixed in the future firmware update. Last but not least, you have the possibility now to move your internal saves to the SD card from Fenrir, and you can move it back to the internal storage, up to you, but of course the Fenrir has much more space in order to handle more saves. Up to you how you're going to do it, or even you can import from whatever, from the internet save states and just use them here so you can skip some levels, whatever. You have that possibility, it's part of the Fenrir firmware. So my final thoughts about the Fenrir solution: it's by far the cheapest solution that you could get in the market to add the possibility of reading games from SD cards. It's not hard to install. It has the problem that not all consoles are supported, but it's being addressed, so I believe in a matter of months they will add support for all the Sega Saturn models out in the wild. So there are also issues with multi-discs games. I had some games that were working fine, some others that were not working well, but again, being addressed with firmware updates. And remember, the CD-ROMs of these old consoles with more than 20 years are dying. That's normal, and this is probably the component that gets broke first because you use it always to play games. And these kind of solutions are ensuring that your hardware can endure more and more years to come. And I personally have more than one Saturn, so I have one Saturn with a Fenrir, and I have other two Saturns that, you know, they are still having their old CD-ROMs, because I still like to play my old collection of Saturn games, and I still like to hear the CD-ROM spinning in the Sega Saturn. But yeah, I think Fenrir is overall a very good solution. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and if I get more updates from Fenrir, hardware revision from Fenrir, I'll bring it to the channel, of course, for you guys. And most important of all, take care and bye bye.